So a very good afternoon to all of you children. In today's session, let's revise the topic worksheet 10, that is verb tenses. So before we move on to the verb tenses, we should be familiar with what verb is. What is a verb, children? Who can give me the answer? Yes, Arthur, come on. What is a verb?
Verb is an action word.
Yes, very good. Verb is an action word. So the actions that we do, okay? Actions that we do are called verbs. Is that clear to everyone? Actions that we do are called verbs. So Nedi, come on, give me a few examples of the actions that we do. I'm not calling it as a verb. Come on, give me the examples. What all actions you do in a day? Netik, where is Netik? Okay, Shivashankar, come on. You can do it. Yes. Come on. Yes.
Run, walk, talk,
Yes.
and eat.
Eat. Yes. Eat is an action word. Yes, then. Eat is an action.
Run,
Run is an action. Yes.
play,
Play is an action.
study.
Yes, study is an action. So all the actions that Shivashankar has told us, all these are the actions. Okay, so an action word tells us. So the action word tells us what someone or something does. Is that clear? Is that clear? So the action word tells us what someone or something does. Who performs the actions, children? We perform the action. Animals can also perform the action, and also things perform the actions. Okay, so action word tells us what someone or something does. So the action words are called as verb. What are the action words are called, children? Verb. Okay, so the actions that we do are called verbs. So the action words are called verbs. Is that clear to everyone? Action words are called? Action words are called verbs. Open your mouth and say, action words are called verbs. Actions that we do are called verbs. Okay, now we'll move on to the next part of it. So we are very familiar that verb is an action word. Okay, verb is an action word. We can also call it as a doing word because we perform the action. So the verb is called as an action word and also it is a doing word. So did you know that verb can also tell us the time when an action takes place? Okay, verb can also tell us the time when an action takes place. That's when the tenses come in. Is that clear? We learned about the tenses? Okay, so the verb can also tell us the time of the action or the time when an action takes place. That's when the time when the tenses come in. Tenses of the verb tells us when an action takes place. Is that clear? Why means we do these actions at different times of the day. Okay, we would have done the action, we are doing the action now. Okay, we would have done the action yesterday, we'll be doing the action tomorrow. So the time tells us when the action, so the verb tells us when the action takes place, and that's when the tenses come into. Okay, so these tenses are divided into, there are how many tenses in English? How many tenses are there in English? There are, how many tenses are there, children? Okay, Parvana, come on, tell me how many tenses are there? Three, yes. So in English, there are 3 tenses. What are they, Kevin? Come on, tell me, what are they?
Past tense, future tense.
Then, which is the main tense there? What is the first one? Past tense you told me, future tense you told me, which is the other one? Joshua, come on, tell me. The name 3 tenses. So as I've told you, the time, yes, the verb can also tell us when the action takes place. That's when the tenses come in. So these tenses are divided into 3. Which is the first one, Joshua?
Past tense.
Past tense is the first one. Sarah, come on, tell me, which is the first one? Sarah?
Present.
Yes, present tense.
Past,
Past tense, and
future.
the future. So here when that I told you the time when the action takes place or the tenses of the verb tells us when the action takes place. So these times are divided into three. That is the present tense, past tense, and the future tense. Can anybody tell me what does the present tense indicate? Jonath, come on. Present tense indicate what? What does the present tense indicate, Jonath? What does it tell us? Present tense. What does it tell us? I told you that the tense.
Going to happen today.
Yes, very good. What is happening today? What it happens? Okay, happening now. It is called as the present tense. What is happening now is called as the present tense. Okay, Catherine, come on, tell me what does the past tense indicate? Catherine, your video struck. Jyoti Lakshmi's video is also struck. Deva Binoy, come on, tell me. What does the past tense indicate? Deva Binoy. Yes. Come on, tell me, Deva. What does the past tense indicate, children? As we know that there are three tenses. Present tense we have already discussed. What is the past tense, Deva? This is very easy. All I could see many hands up here. If Deva's not answering, the question passes on to someone else. Yes, Ihan, come on, tell me. Yes, Ihan, come on, tell me.
What has happened?
Yes, what has already happened? That's right. Okay, Ihan, very good. So, what has already happened? Okay, now Meenakshi, come on, tell me what is future tenses? What does the future tense indicate? Come on, Meenakshi. Future tense means what? What do you mean by future tense? Future tense. Who knows the answer? Please do raise your hands. The question passes on to. I'm not going to wait. Yes, Niranjan, come on, tell me what do you mean by future tense? What does the future tense indicate?
It's going to happen.
Very good, it's going to happen. So these tenses, that is, tenses of the verb tells us when an action takes place. So the tenses are broadly divided into three. The first one is the present tense, the second one is
Past tense.
the
Past
third
tense.
one is the future tense.
Future tense.
Present tense means what is happening now. Past tense means what has already happened. Future tense means which will happen in future.
Coming.
It's going to come. Very good. Okay, it's going to happen. Very good, children.
Going to happen.
Yes, going to happen in future. That is known as the future tense. Now we need to know how to write the words, how to identify the words that are in present tense or past tense or future tense. Okay, so we know we have to identify the words whether they are in the present tense or the past tense or the future tense. Present tense, what we have to do is the word cook is in the present tense. Okay, so the word cook, it depends on the subject of the verb. If the subject is singular, verb, what we have to do is we have to add s or es to the verb. Okay, present tense always depends on the subject. If the subject is singular, we add s or es to the verb. If the subject is plural, we have to write the verb as it is. We cook. He cooks. Is that clear? So that is how we write the present tense. What is happening now? Okay. Mother cooks food. Okay. Mother cooks food for us. If the subject, present tense always depends on the subject. Subject means who is doing the action. So if the subject is singular, we have to add s or es to the verb. If the subject is plural, write the verb as it is. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now we'll move on to the past tense. Past tense means already happened. Past tense means what? We have to add ed to the verb to show that the action is in the past tense. Is that clear? So, but not all the words follow this rule. For irregular verbs, the form completely changes. That we have already learned it. Then comes the future tense. How to identify the word that is in the future tense? We have to add will before the word to show that the action is in the future tense. So now have you understood, children? Now let's move on to the slide so that after looking at the slide, we'll understand more on the topic. Okay, let's do a revision on it before we move on to the test paper. Okay. Yes, children? Have all of you learned for your test paper well? Yes. So today, let's revise on the topic that is in worksheet 10, verb tenses. We already know what is a verb is. Verb is an action word. Okay, so verb can also tell us when the action takes place. So the tenses of the verb tells us when an action has taken place. It tells us the time when an action takes place. That's when the tenses come in. So see here, the verb tenses depend on when the action takes place. It tells us the time of the action. That's where the tenses are divided into three. That is the present tense, past tense, and the future tense. Present tense indicate that what is happening now. So as I've already told you, and the present tense always depends on the subject. If the subject is singular, we have to add yes or es to the verb. If the subject is singular, add s or es to the verb. My sister cooks. If the subject is plural, what we have to do, children? Just write the verb as it is. They look, we dance. That is what I've already explained to you. This is how we write the present tense. Present tense always depends on the subject. If the subject is singular, add s or es. If the subject is plural, write the verb as it is. Now we'll move on to the past tense. As we know that the past tense indicate an action that has already happened. Okay, so how was that we are going to write the verb is that we have to add ed to the verb to show that the action is in the past tense. But this rule doesn't apply for all the words. See here, she walked to the park. So this walked is in the past tense. Quickly we'll revise, okay? They danced to their favorite song. So the verb dance is in the past tense. You can see here, ed is being added to the word to show that the action is in the past tense. All of you look at the slide, it's already been explained to you. But as I've already told you, not all the words follow the rule. This, you can see this action here, this is sleep. What is the past tense of the sleep is? Can we write slept? No, it's wrong. So the form completely changes here. That's what I told you. We have to learn the table well. The past tense of sleep is slept. S-L-E-P-T. Slept. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next word. You can see this action. What is the action is taking place here is eat. Eat is the present tense form of the action here. Eat. What is the past tense form of it? Can we write here eat it? No, it's wrong. So what's the correct form of it is? It is ate. Okay, so the girl ate her dinner. Okay, so these words are called as irregular verbs. Irregular verbs, the word, the form completely changes in the past tense. That's what I told you. The form, not all the words follow the rule. Okay, now we'll move on to the future tense. Future tense, as we know, which will happen in future. So what is the form to be written? We have to add will to the word to show that the action will take place in future. For example, so you know that will play, will walk, will study, will talk, will pull. All these are the future tense. Okay, now we'll move on to this table. We are familiar with this table, children, aren't we? Aren't we familiar with this table? Have all of you learned it? Did you write and study this? I want all of you to learn this table by heart. Okay? I wanted all of you to learn this table by heart. So, for the examinations, I wanted all of you to learn this table well. Play, it is played. Walk, it is walked. Study, it is studied. Talk, it is talked. Pull, it is pulled. Jump, jumped. Dance, it is danced. So here what we have done, we have added D or ED or IED to the word to show that the action is in the past tense. Clear? Clear to all? Have you all of you understood? Have you noticed these words, children? All these words are irregular verbs. What are they called? Irregular verbs, as I've already told you, all the words doesn't follow the same rule. So for the irregular verbs, the form completely changes. So for write, it is wrote. Sing, it is sang. Drink, drank. Buy, bought. Think, thought, go, went, drive, drove, take, took. So I wanted all of you to learn the page 16 and 17 by heart. So for the worksheet 10, the verb tenses, you have nothing more to study. You have to learn the table which is there in page number 16 and 17 by heart. By heart in the sense, understand and you learn it. Okay, so there are certain words where we have to add ed or ed, but there are certain other words where the form completely changes that we have to know which are those words. And even in page number 17, there are few words there. Teach, taught, the page I've taken it. Okay. Teach, taught, will teach. Put, will put. So these table has to be learnt well. Shout, shouted, will shout. Bring. What's the past tense of bring is? Can anybody tell me what is the past tense? Anjita, come on, tell me what is the past tense of bring? Anjita, what is the past tense of bring? Yes. Bring is? Bring?
Bring.
No. How come? I've told you to revise it, no? Bring is? Children, please do learn these two tables.
Brought.
Brought. Bring it is brought. Buy it is? Other? Okay, Rebecca, buy it is? Buy it is? What is the past tense of buy?
Ma'am.
Buy, what is the past tense of buy?
Ma'am, I cannot clear.
It's not clear, maybe because of the, I think so, audio is the problem here, children. I don't know what has happened. The morning it was okay. Okay, so buy it is bought. Buy it is bought and bring it is brought. Okay, so learn it very well, children. Now we'll move on to the test paper. Are you all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you all ready?
Yes.
Are you all ready for the test paper? Have all of you studied well? It's very simple, children. Only thing is 5 minutes. If you sit with that, you can learn it up well. Only few words that from some of the words we are familiar with. Some few words we have to, I've already told you to write and study. I hope you would have done it. Okay. One minute, children. I'll be sending you the link now. One minute, children. You'll be getting the link now. All of you get ready, okay? The link will be sent, okay? It'll be pasted in the chat box. Please do check it. Did you get it? Put a thumbs up if you've got it. Okay, start doing it. Only 5 questions are there. Only 5 questions. Read the questions well and do it. The past tense and the present tense and the future tense forms are there. Please do it well. I wanted all of you to learn it well, children. The similar questions you'll be getting for the examinations too. So please do learn it well. Finished, Ada? No? What do you want to tell me?
I when I click one link, they are showing you need to sign in your my Google account. So I cannot do it.
What is that?
They are saying to sign in.
What about the others? Are you able to do it? Yes? Yes then.
Only for me.
Okay, okay.
Then can you send it in the group?
Not group, I'll send it to your personal number. Okay? Children, if you need the link, children, please do. I'll be sending it in your personal number, but I wanted to know it who needs it. Okay? Have you got the question paper, children? Have you written your name, your class, your division? Okay, the similar question paper you will be getting. So you pick out the past tense form of the verb right. Click on to the right option. See there, it is past tense. Okay, so you have to write the, click on to the past tense of the verb form right. Okay, so the future tense of pull. You have to write the future tense. See here, future tense of pull. So will pull, will pulled, pulled. So you need to know the correct form well. Past tense of where, past tense. So click on to the right option. Don't get confused. Present tense of bought, B-O-U-G-H-T, bought. So you have to click on to the right option. Okay, past tense of drive. So what is it? Past tense of drive. Okay, so past tense of drive is, click on to the right option. Okay, children? So I hope all of you have done it. Do anybody needs the link, children? Did everybody get the link? Is there anyone still to get the link? Hmm? Spargus, Tenon, Senna, Jyoti, Anika, Vaishnav, Shine, Kevin, Aiden, Rebecca, Sarah, Ihan, Abigail, Shivashankar, Parvana. Why Deva has got only less mark? Hmm? Please do it fast, children. Yes. Have all of you finished? Hmm? Is there anyone still? So when you learn this chapter, children, learn these words. You have nothing much to learn. Words only. You will be asked to write the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Future tense is very easy for you. Will be there. Okay, the future tense will be asked. You have to write the present tense. It will be very easy for you. So the past tense form and the present tense form has to be learned well. Okay, children. So see that you write and study well. For each word, it differs. So I wanted everyone to learn by heart. Don't get confused. So these same tenses will be continued in the fourth standard too. So you should know these words very well. You have to take pains to write and study well. Okay, children. So it's time for us to wind up today's session. I hope all of you have done well. Okay, so prepare well for your exams. Keep on learning. Okay, then children, bye. Okay, children, bye, children. Have a great day. Bye, all children. I hope all of you have done it. If you have,
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
if anybody needs the link, okay, or unable to write or due to any inconvenience, please, okay, the personal number I'll be sending you, but I have to know it who needs it. Okay, children. So